There's a lot on the line when discussing carbon fiber instruments. Customers are expecting all the benefits of carbon fiber, perfect setup, durability, and stability.
Yeah, all the while looking for that same sound quality of a wood instrument and maybe even expecting it to be even more affordable.
So today we're going to ask the question, are we asking too much of the new KLOS Carbon Fiber Mandolin? Stick around and find out.
The days gone by, wondering about.
As always, you can listen to this and as well as a full performance song on a separate video. And if you want to skip to the tone demos at the end of the video, you can also do that. So, yeah, let's talk about this mandolin, Jer.
Let's dive right into the specs, John. This thing's made out of carbon fiber. The end. Now, this is the new KLOS Carbon Fiber A-style mandolin. It comes in at a price tag of $25.99.
That's cheap.
It is. I think it's very. We'll discuss that. The tone wood's on it. Tone woods, you say? No, it's carbon fiber. The top is carbon fiber. The back and sides carbon fiber. The head plate is also carbon fiber.
That's true.
The body and binding are not available because they're carbon fiber. Okay, so what I was saying here, guys, this thing's through and through a carbon fiber mandolin.
It's true.
For the fretboard on this one, it does have composite ebony, which I guess just means an imitation ebony, made not out of carbon fiber. And it is a 12-inch radius on this one.
Now you have other optionals, by the way.
Yeah, they have a compound radius, a 10 to 14-inch radius is optional. This has the adjustable ebony bridge, all right, so we finally got something that's not carbon fiber on this, as well as a cast tail piece. It does come with the Graphtec new bone nut on this. This does have the KLOS Pro tuners on it. These ones are silver with the pearl-looking buttons on there. Bracing is surprising. It's tone bar bracing.
Yeah, I stuck my finger in
But you
there.
look inside there and you can see that it's a carbon fiber brace. That's keeping with tradition. And then it does come with a gig bag with this, a KLOS branded gig bag, a really nice, comfortable carrying bag.
By the way, also optional, you can get a carbon fiber case.
Can you? I did not know that. So
Sure.
that'd be
Or
very nice.
fiberglass. I don't think it's carbon fiber. I think it's
That'd be
just
very cool if it was.
a fiberglass
Anyway,
case.
the nut width on this is 24.8 millimeters, so it's a little bit wider than a standard Gibson. They also give the option of a 26.5 or a 23.8. Depending on your preference, it's really cool that you get to kind of order the one that feels best for you. Scale length on it is 13.87 inches, so about standard scale length for a A-style mandolin. It does come with and without a pickup. This one does have the KLOS transducer in this one.
Yeah, which I was told is very similar to a K&K pickup. You also have the option of a K&K pickup, and then there's very soon going to be a active pickup with controls, which will be, as far as they know, the first tone control on-board high-end mandolin.
That would be very nice. I might mention also right now, this is their standard carbon fiber finish on it, but they do have a, what do they call it, the timber?
Timeless timber will be coming out soon.
It kind of has the appearance of a wood finish on it, still being
aluminum wood thing.
Still being a carbon fiber instrument. So this is like the very first of this, so we still don't have all the options that are going to be available, but that's what we're here to tell you. See the preview, what to expect out of the new KLOS carbon fiber mandolin.
So this mandolin was actually, I got a phone call from the folks at KLOS, and they said, hey,
brothers.
They actually had the first prototype at the NAMM show and showed it to you. You got to, Jeremy's on the big ads. If you guys ever see the flipped ad, you'll see Jeremy's head on there and a big grin, a goofy
I was
looking
smiling.
grin.
That was at the NAMM show. I gotta say, I could hear it some there, but it's such a loud show. I didn't get a real feel for what the mandolin sounded like. I was impressed with what I did hear, but once you got in touch with them after that, right before Merlefest, they sent us this mandolin.
Called me up and said, hey, we have got 3 production mandolins built that we are going to be shipping out, and one of them is yours. And I said, yay! So what we're doing is they're still building these out. In fact, as by the time this video comes out, it may be time for them to release. But I was told that they should be caught up with all their pre-orders by the end of August. Now, of course, we have a lot of these mandolins already on order. So they shipped us this one, knowing that we will also be selling some of the ones that are going to be coming soon. So
right now this is in pre-order. If you are interested in it, you can pre-order on the website. If you're watching this video a little later, it may be fully available by now. All right, so we're going to go to our scorecard right now, John, and give it our rating system. And we, again, compare this into like price range. It's going to be a little different since this is carbon fiber versus wood. But in like price range, we're going to start with tone. I think it has got a great tone for a carbon fiber mandolin. I've not experienced anything quite like it. There's not a lot I can compare it to because there aren't a lot of carbon fiber instruments out there, or mandolins out there to give an A/B test to, but I was very impressed with how it compares to a wooden instrument. I'm going to give it a 4.3.
Funny you should say that because I was thinking the same thing, except mine is a 4.2. So yeah, a 4.2. It is definitely a good sounding mandolin. Is it my favorite sounding mandolin I've ever heard? No. Is it my favorite carbon fiber sounding mandolin? Absolutely.
Did it surprise me as a carbon fiber?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. Setup and playability, Jared.
That is where I think you're going to get some big points because, again, you get it set up where you like it, and right now it's set up pretty much where I like it. They had it set up from factory where I would place it. Action's great. Now it's not going to move. I'm not having to worry about adjusting the neck. I'm not having to worry about string height, action changing, tuning stability. I think that's where it's going to get big points. I give it a 4.9 on setup.
Ooh, I got to play it a little bit.
I like the neck
gonna
feel of
say,
it too myself.
Do you?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm going to say a 4.7.
That's still a really good score, John.
Yeah, I know. I
All
tried.
right, build quality. I think they do a great job. They took real close attention to all the little details on it, even where some of the pattern of the carbon fiber comes around the top and matches. It looks like they put a lot of thought into it. All the beveled edges on the back and the way the neck joint comes together, which the neck is one piece, but you can see where a different angle of the carbon fiber. Aesthetically, I think they do an excellent job on build quality on this. I can't find anything on it that I don't like. So I'm going to go ahead for, in similar price point, I'm going to give it a 5. I think they did a great job.
There you go. I spent some time with, I probably spent a lot more time with carbon fiber by way of the McPhersons, and they are pretty much the top line of that kind of stuff. There's a few things that I know they would not have let pass, which are some seams and changes over of the pattern in the carbon fiber. I don't think it affects anything here. I agree with you. It's very well done. But if I'm going to put them at a 5, I'm going to have to give this a little bit of knocks because I can see the transition changes on some of these steels. It doesn't affect it any. The inside's not as clean as what the McPhersons are. So I'm going to probably give it more of a 4 and 4.6.
All right. Then we go to the aesthetics, the looks of it. This one is their standard carbon fiber. They will be coming out with the
Timeless timber,
which has a
I think
really
it's a cool look,
metallic
too.
look to it. Yeah. I actually kind of myself prefer just
would probably
if
too.
I'm going to have a carbon fiber instrument, I want to look like carbon fiber.
But
Appearance
they are
wise,
claiming that does make a difference in sound too, by the way. So
appearance wise, I like this one a lot. I think not a lot that I would knock on it. The tuners are pretty basic tuners, so nothing fancy there. Tailpiece, same thing there. I wouldn't mind having like a jammed tailpiece. Otherwise, other than those two things, I'm going to give it a 4.4.
You know, I'm actually going to give it the same score, but I had a couple of things that I didn't care for. I'm not a big fan of the silkscreen logo on the front. I would have liked to have seen something a little bit nicer than that.
If you can do an inlay on carbon fiber.
You can. It's, again, I'm telling you, that those guys over at McPherson have figured it out. So
All right, well.
they've been doing that kind of stuff. Anyway, definitely, I found that to be one of my things. Again, I told you some of the seam changes, not quite as nice of a tailpiece as what I would like to have seen. But it's still, again, the bar is so high when it comes to what we've seen in here with the McPhersons. Now, I've seen a lot of carbon fiber brands from other companies, and this stacks up to the top end of any of those. Absolutely. We just have a little bit of an extra step. Again,
We're spoiled.
yeah, and I bet if we had a McPherson mandolin, it'd probably be about twice as much as what this is.
I would assume, yes. Finally, we're going to get to the Shoppe Sustainable. I think no trees were chopped down for making this, except for that bridge there. So the carbon fibers all pass our Shoppe Sustainable mission.
Absolutely.
Overall value, this is where we're going to get some knocks from people, and that's where people have already said, well, for that price point, it better sound better than my wooden mandolin.
But I thought we just discussed
You're not
that.
comparing apples to apples, folks.
No.
You're wrong.
You're wrong!
Overall
You are
value,
wrong!
if you want an instrument you can take on the road that sounds really good, plays great, will compete in any jam session you're in, catch a lot of attention. People are like, what is that instrument you're holding? I think this value is right up there. That to get it in that price range,
I agree.
I think they knocked it out. $2,500 sounds like a lot if you're comparing it to other carbon fiber instruments or A-style mandolins in this tone sound. I think it's right dead in the middle where it should be. So I'm going to give it a 4.9 for value.
Jeremy, 4.9 was not what I was going to say.
We should have had you write it down like the dating game to make sure you're not lying. So let's jump into some of our questions we normally try to ask. Who is this mandolin meant for? And that, I think, really gets down to the crux of carbon fiber.
Yes.
Like, it's not meant to be the standard. It's not meant to replace a wood instrument.
No.
They don't think that someday everybody's going to get rid of their wooden mandolins and guitars and go fully carbon fiber. It has
There are
advantages.
people that have done that.
I'm just saying market-wise, it's not meant to take over wooden instruments. It's meant to fill a need. And that is stability, strength, durability, those things we listed early on. Stability, it is just, once you got it set up the way you like it, and it stays in
move very
tune,
much at all.
tuning stability is super strong because it just doesn't move with the weather, the heat, the cold, the humidity. It's carbon fiber. Those things don't really affect it. The other thing is traveling with it, it's durable. Like if it gets banged up on the road, you're not gonna affect the instrument. It's meant to be the traveling musician's guitar, mandolin. If you're just at your house and want something that you can leave out on, hanging on the wall and not worry about humidifying correctly and worry about winter and summer, that's what it's for.
I've got
It's not for.
I've got a student, by the way. This is kind of a fun thing. He's got one of the carbon fiber guitars, and he leaves it on his back deck. And it's his, he's got a big open field, and he just loves being able to sit out on his deck and
Just have a guitar
talk
there,
to
right
nature,
there.
and it's always there and ready to play. Again, everybody should do that as well.
Yeah, I need that deck. But one thing I'd say it's probably not for a studio musician. Like there are depths and complexities you get out of a wooden instrument that you're not going to get out of carbon fiber. So this would not replace your studio guitar or mandolin. It's meant to be those other things we just mentioned. It does have. It seems like carbon fiber has a little bit more of a. The only word keeps coming to me is a little bit of a hollow tone, like a little deeper body.
I have a less classy one. It's almost this hunky, mid-rangey kind of things, and I guess that's just lack of a better term for it. I don't necessarily find it off-putting, but it's different.
It's just a little prevalent, a little bit more prevalent than in a wood. So that tone right there is just a little heavier than you would find, not as complex.
It's funny. I'm over here and I don't hear it near as much as I do as the player.
That being said, it's not overpowering to where it's not a pleasant tone. It's just, I think in a wooden instrument, you get a little bit more balance right through there. So I'd say that's the only thing that I do notice on carbon fiber. With those trade-offs, I will still own one because I think it's got a lot of advantages to it. So sort of the cons of this, people always ask, well, it better sound as good as an instrument or a wooden instrument at that price point.
That's not the point. If you're
not
talking
meant
that, you're already off track. These are not designed to sound better than anything. They're designed to have a new function, and at that, it costs a lot more than building a wood. I mean, my prime example of this is there are $60 violins out there. To make it to be at the level that we're expecting this to be, with the materials that it's going to be pricey.
And yeah, and just set your expectations. It'd be like saying, hey, I want to buy that Mustang, but for $70,000, it better get 40 miles per gallon. You're getting a muscle car. It's not going to get the high gas mileage.
I think that's
a trade-off that you're getting. You want
That's a
this
pretty
loud,
reasonable request, Jer. If you're going to spend that much,
good luck to you,
fuel
John.
economy is your main concern right there.
If you're looking for an instrument like this, you're not looking for the gas mileage. You're looking for a very solid instrument, and that doesn't mean that the price tag goes down any just because it's not maybe
as good as sounding as the equivalent wood instrument.
That being said, I'm not saying this one doesn't sound as good as a lot of wood. I think this sounds better than a lot of wood instruments in that same price range that I played. So that's a very surprising result that they've been able to get out of it. What does the instrument compare to? It's really the only thing we can do at that point is compare price points equivalent along lines. One that stands out to mind to me recently is the Bourgeois M5A, fully torified, Adirondack spruce top, maple back and sides, beautiful instrument, sounds great, very complex. Those ones, again, sound a little bit tighter when they're brand new. This one's very open and full because it's not going to age in. This is kind of
dark in comparison.
It's dark in comparison. I think those ones are going to develop a little over time.
Sure.
But right out of the bat, this one has a very open tone to it. What are your thoughts? Are we asking too much out of carbon fiber?
I think this is a thing that, yes, keeps showing up. I think people have the wrong impression of what some people. Again, people who have been playing carbon fiber instruments, once they get into it, they're like, this is it for me. This makes all the sense in the world. I will say
most of those people also own a wood guitar for those needs that they're
There
trying
is
to fill.
absolutely that. They never treat this as my replacement for everything in my musical journey. If that's what you're looking for, carbon fiber is not for you.
I say for the trade-offs you're getting, we are not asking too much there, giving some great tone out of this. It's got the stability, the playability, the durability of all those things, and it sounds really good and plays really good. I don't know that you can ask for much more of it. It's not meant to sound better than Bill Monroe's mandolin did. The right person is going to find a great value out of this, and I hope this video helped you a little bit with that decision. All right, guys, we did talk a little about the M5A mandolin as a comparison on this. We did a full in-depth video, and again, that's kind of a boutique build from Dana Bourgeois' design and the Eastman team. Really great instrument and a really good review of that. If you'd like to see more about that, check out this video, and we will see you again in our next video.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.